Should I do that?
Nah, I think it's good because we're both on the same audio.
All right.
All right.
I thought you were I
Just
thought you
being
were being nice and clapping for me. You're very encouraging.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you. It's easy.
Thank God for editing. All right. So here we go. All right, hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of 8-Bit Banter. I'm Zachary, but online on Twitch. I'm also known as Bobby Panda the Wise on all platforms. Retro gaming enthusiast, speedrunner, well, kind of retired, but speedrunner. And I love sports too. So I guess a little more about me. I am father, husband, and yeah, just overall gamer and everything. So that's about it for me. We also have the co-host. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Gus, aka I'm joking. On Twitch, on Instagram, or wherever else you might look. I'm Golden One Inc., which is like Golden Link. Golden being the park that I grew up in. I think people get a little like, yo, he thinks highly of himself, calling himself Golden Link. I'm like, no, I couldn't think of a nickname. So the park I grew up in, I was like, yo, I think originally, just to break off for a second, my cousin made like a AOL account and his name was Golden Skateboarder. And I was like, that's so cool. So I kind of like bounced off that. So Golden Link, Zelda fan, gamer enthusiast, just like Zach.
Nice. I love it. And the golden part of it too. That's yeah, I've always wondered myself, so it all makes sense now.
Yeah, it's just like the park I grew up by. That's all. It's real simple.
Nice. So we're pretty much getting this podcast started now. This is the very first episode. We're gonna title this one Press Start. So I guess to more get involved and, get people to understand a little bit more of who we are. Like I said, I'm married. I've been married for about 5 years now. I have a son. So, dad Congrats. Life, gaming. It's interesting, throwing that into the mix of not just being a father, but being a husband and trying to game all the time too. Finding that balance.
There is a delicate balance.
Right. So for instance, go right ahead.
My wife actually hates video games, and so that was a little bit of a rough point in our relationship. So there was even fights where she's like, "You have to choose video games or me," and that was a tough one because I was like, I don't know. But obviously I would probably choose her probably in retrospect, but like
we can talk this through. We could do pros and cons.
I let her know that video games are a big part of my life. Like this is how I just release like the inner stress of reality, I guess. We break into these little worlds where, when we stay home from school, I'm sure you really looked forward to those times in video games, and out of nowhere you're feeling better.
Yep. Yep. It was a space to completely disconnect where you didn't have the same issues that you had outside. Everything else that was going on or anything else that you were thinking about, whatever it was, it got quiet, it got silent, and you were just able to focus on the game, get away from all of that, almost like hiding your problems. A little bit of therapy in a way.
How did video games come into your life, man?
So video games came in for me. I was probably playing Commodore 64 when I was in the womb. My dad was the one that really introduced me.
Nice.
He had a Commodore 64 when I was born. By the time that I started playing it, it was the NES was out, right? And so probably within a few months of me playing Commodore, the Super Nintendo came out. And so that was really, Commodore 64 was what got me in. Super Nintendo is what hooked me.
with the keyboard and everything, Commodore.
Yep,
Wow,
keyboard and everything. And my dad, way back in the day, one of my uncles had one too, and they're both like tech junkies, pretty much.
really
So
cool.
they
Is this
both,
Neo's father or anything like that?
both of our uncles. It's the
Okay,
youngest brother.
okay,
Um,
cool.
and so the youngest brother and then my dad that were the techies, and this was before DVDs were even invented. So this was floppy disk time.
Wow,
They would copy the floppy disks. One would get a game and the other one would, kind of burning it onto a floppy disk.
ahead of their time.
So, yep, ahead of their time, or just through bootleggers. So,
Yeah,
that's how I got in. And then my first real game was Street Fighter 2. Um, and then at that
wow.
time, my mom found it too violent.
She was right.
So so they got rid of the game, and then that's where I started playing Mega Man X and stuff like that. And it's Mega Man X was like the first true speed run that I ever did. So
Gotcha.
that's what got me in.
Yeah, I seen you do some Mega Man like speed runs, and it's impressive, man. I can't recall if I ever beat a Mega Man game,
They're
which is like
hard.
a little embarrassing because I know I could beat it. And I remember I never owned the game. So I see my cousins playing and I was like, man, this game is actually tough. Because when you first play it, it is a little tough.
Hmm.
And then like
Hmm.
then you start to see now, I guess now that I'm older, it's easier to see the patterns that they have, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Anyway. And then the new power ups that you would get, that was a new thing. And like I played Mario a lot, Zelda a lot. But power ups in Mega Man was kind of different than like Zelda. Zelda's like, all right, a weapon for this puzzle. Mario's just like perfect sync, like button pressing, like you have to press the buttons correctly.
Right.
Um, but the Commodore, I saw this at the Retro Expo. They had all these displayed out into these like open areas. You wouldn't believe how many uh, different systems they had, things you probably never heard of. But the
Oh,
Retro
right,
Expo was
right. And they
really
had
good
it
in Long
all
Island.
on display in like a full room.
Yeah, so it's in a museum with all these planes everywhere, all these old planes. Like there's planes. All right, now to break away. There's planes that people would travel in luxury, and inside it only fit about like maybe 20 people, and the chairs are tight. And I'm sure since it was so small, it shook like crazy in the air.
The
But there's
turbulence must have
carpet in
been
there.
wild.
Yeah. But around all these planes are just like tables set up with all these old retro games set up, and we played a little bit of Oregon Trail, and went hunting for elk and squirrels. It was not easy.
And didn't you guys do a um Smash Bros 64 tournament that one of you
We
won?
we did, yeah. Garga 100 actually eliminated me,
Oh,
and
that jerk.
kudos to him. It's one of those things I didn't want to go against my own friend. It was fun rooting for each other. You felt so much joy when one of us won, and but it took up so much of the time. It took at least 2 hours for the tour to be done, when we could have been exploring the museum more. They had like a whole area of arcades too, 4-player arcades, Ninja
Ooh,
Turtles, stuff like that,
nice. Nice.
Star Wars arcades. It was too much to do, and the competition took a lot of time away from us, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that was a Long Island Retro, happens like in August or something. I was thinking of going next year, so maybe
Yeah,
it'll
you're a bit away, but anytime you're in town, I got to try to make time for you, because it's pretty, you know, that's pretty tough. You're a tough guy to travel. I
I
don't
know, I
know.
know.
You're tough, bro.
You tough. Um, so all right, so now I'm thinking, kind of going into the next topic is, um, we talked about what, how we got into gaming, what brought us into it. Um,
Well, let me add to that for 1 second.
you
I have a
got
little
it.
bit more to say. For video games in my life, my brother had a Nintendo. So when he got the Nintendo, what he did was, he had school and everything, but I was 8 years younger than him. And it drove him crazy thinking I was home playing with his video games, that he actually got left back in like the second grade. Would you believe that? Like, it
That's
drove him so
wild.
crazy that he hid. And then when he came home, he hid his Nintendo in the attic. But I don't even think I was playing it when I was younger, you know? And this Super Nintendo came out, and we actually shared that well.
Okay.
And Super Mario World was a big game, but just want to fast forward a little bit because I think this part was a little interesting. In my life, I didn't play much video games from let's say 12 to let's say more like 16 to 20, 16 to 19, like those 3 years. I was still playing N64 and stuff like that, Zelda, Mario. But
The high school years, pretty much.
yeah, when Xbox came out and PS3, I didn't have those systems.
Mm-hmm.
And even a GameCube, I got it later on. Wii U, I got it very late. But it was because I guess I was skateboarding a lot, right? Maybe this is something we can do on future podcasts, some skateboarding talk.
I'd be in.
And now the comeback with video games was when I had a very serious injury with my neck. So I was homebound for a while. And when you're injured and you're stuck at home, you're staying up until 7 a.m. easily. And my brother-in-law gifted me his Xbox 360 and games I never heard of, but one in particular that like took over was Oblivion.
Ooh, okay.
Have you played that game?
I've seen a lot on it. That's Elder Scrolls, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a lot. Skyrim was bigger, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got into Skyrim because I know how in depth you can get, how involved you can get. It's like World of Warcraft depth.
Yeah. I got gifted Skyrim actually from Neo, and I wanted to play it, but I saw the amount of hours that people put into it. And this was like all people around me, and I was like, Jesus, if I do this, I am going to like be stuck in my mom's house for like a decade. I can't do this right now. So I didn't. I played it for like 2 hours, and I saw how I could get like stuck, and I was like, nope, I gotta stop.
For sure. And Oblivion, I had all the time in the world, and I went all in, but I got too good at the game because I understood how to become like a full-fledged ninja where I'm walking past people, pickpocketing them. They're like, what's going on? Stabbing them in front of their face. They're like, I'm dying. Like,
yes,
not fighting back.
You are.
Yeah, but it was so nice just exploring an open world like that. Such beautiful graphics. The evolution of video games is like, it's a different world now.
Right. Like going from that and having that big open world and that to like going to something like Breath of the Wild. It's kind of crazy to think about, like, that to me, Oblivion and Breath of the Wild, like, it seems like it happened so close, but in reality, it was like 15 years apart.
Yeah. And honestly, Oblivion is probably better graphics. But you start to see the repetitiveness after playing it for 3,000 hours. So it's okay. 3,000 hours,
it's nothing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like I'm so much closer to my camera compared to you. It's just the way the setup is, I guess.
No, it's all good. My wife's got the better camera now. So now even though I'm like right here, I look like
yeah, I
far
hear
away.
you. So. I have this camera back there where it's pointing at the painting. That's a better camera, but it's like a 4K camera. But I don't know if it's really 4K. But it's just because the light glare is so harsh on these other cameras that this camera actually tones down the
harshness.
Yeah, so I can actually stream those paintings.
It looks good when you paint those too.
So yeah, so that's one thing I like to do on Twitch, painting, but I get sidetracked with video games more. But what about you with Twitch, man? What brought you into Twitch?
So I do want to go into the Twitch thing, but you brought up
Yeah,
the
sorry.
painting. I kind of want to ask more about that, the
Cool.
creative side. So, you're really talented with the paintings, with all the creative, Photoshop. So
Thanks.
I want to just like kind of dive a little bit into it. Like what got you into it? How did you find out that you had talent? Because it's full blown a talent.
Well,
It's not just a skill. And just, kind of see from where you started to, being the Bob Ross of Twitch.
well, I'm not that good, but I grew up with Bob Ross. I think a lot of people did, and my father was a painter. My father was actually a pretty impressive painter. And I
Awesome.
actually have one of his paintings hanging up. I'm gonna just point the camera very quickly to it. If anyone's watching visually, this one in the corner, my father painted.
That's
The,
beautiful.
yeah, the sun and everything.
Hmm.
And so he used that's an oil painting. I like using oil. It's better. It's more like malleable, so it never dries. So those things can be easily taken away or reset in a different spot. And but now I use acrylic because the smell isn't as harsh to the kid,
Hmm.
to the child, and the wife, and the dogs, whatever. Um, but my father was a painter, and I always liked to dabble in it. Another painting I did when I was younger, I'll show you real quick. I'm sorry.
No,
Is
no.
this is Link one? I have
Oh,
this
I've
like
seen
hanging
it as a
over,
panel that
but
you
I
had.
made the shield the New York Ranger shield because that's my team. You know, just so much passion in hockey. So
Did you play hockey before?
yeah, I played a little bit, never in a league. I played like league basketball, but that injury when I was 19 was pretty sufficient. So that kind of took me out when I did care to actually try to do something in basketball.
Right.
But hockey is like, I just didn't have the means at a young age. But now that I got older and every league starts at like 12 p.m., like, I mean, 12
Hmm.
a.m., midnight. Like, it's ridiculous how hockey leagues
Well,
start.
I've seen that. There used to be a hockey rink by my parents' house, and I'd be coming home from. I played indoor competitive volleyball for a lot of years, and I would be coming home. It'd be like 10, maybe 11. And let's say I went for a drink or something too, or like 11:45. You would see all the people, all the dads and stuff getting into the ice skating rink. And I
Yeah.
always wondered what it was. And I had went to the ice skating rink one day, with people, and I had asked like, is there some league, or is like someone, paying someone just to go use the rink at night?
Either
And
or.
yeah, that's where I found out that it was a league. Like it's a thing. They play late
Yeah.
at night. So that was
It's
interesting to me to
tough.
find that out.
Yeah, and it's so fun. It's almost like you're opening, like you're in a rink. And when you're in there, you're in a different world for a moment. Like, it's almost like you're in a video game where it's
Hmm.
just like, as humans, we're kind of like drones where we're in our minds, but we're in control of these things. So I know all right. Now I'm like, I'm not
No,
high or
no,
anything
no.
like that.
It's okay. It's okay. Tell me more about
um,
AI.
okay. So being in the rink, you're just in this different world where it's just like a gliding, and you glide so nice and free, and feeling the weight of the puck on the stick, and then like you seeing like it's not so easy to shoot it hard, and being I'm a very competitive person. Not that I'm like not that I'm so like highly competitive where I'll get angry if I lose. Like if I'm facing my wife in a game of cards, I'm not gonna try to kick her butt. I'm gonna like, let's play even. Anyway, but even so, I like the mind. So I know there's some what I'm trying to say is when it's some competitive people out there, they don't care who they're facing, they gotta beat them. I'm not like that. But when I'm facing another person, like let's say Smash Bros or hockey or something, there's a mind game involved, and I love that aspect. I love chess, these kind of things. And hockey is like you're in a different world, just trying to outmaneuver, outthink, work together with another person, and it's so like exhilarating when things connect perfectly. You know?
Yep. Yep. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that type of mindset. That's the same type that I have playing volleyball. I started out in high school. I started out
Love
really
volleyball.
late playing, and
Cool.
it was in junior year, and that's when I learned completely, like from scratch. Started on the JV team. And JV is junior varsity, and then in senior year, moved to the varsity team, and then from there, I've just played in leagues all the time. There was even a point right before I moved in with my wife, and girlfriend at the time, but she plays too. But I was the heavy player at that point. Before we moved in that year, I played volleyball 6 to 7 days a week.
Nice.
After work, and I did physical labor at the time. I was a mechanic, so a mechanic
Cool.
all
I
day.
didn't know that.
I'd go to the gym from 6 to like 7:30. Then I'd go and play volleyball from 8 to like 10 or 8 to 11. And then I'd go and drink for like an hour or two. And then I'd do the same thing the next day. And
But drinking after sports, you probably drunk
my
after
God.
1.5 beers.
Oh my
dude.
God, that was the best part though. I was cheap.
Yeah, I
was
agree.
cheap.
I totally agree. It is the best part sometimes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I played it so hardcore. And once we moved here, it was a little different. It wasn't as frequent as I could play it before. But then leading up all the way until it was about 2022, right around this time, I took like a really, really bad injury, and it was a tournament to raise money for Toys for Tots, and it was a grass tournament. I don't play outside like that. I hate playing outside. And my foot got stuck in. I was running. It was like the smallest dip in the grass that you couldn't see. Foot got stuck, twisted, and like cracked. Got a really bad, not cracked, but like you heard it, but it did.
Yeah. Crunching sound or something.
Yeah, and it was a high ankle sprain. And they said that it would have probably have been better if I just broke it.
And I was like, high ankle sprains are rough, especially the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was your first time spraining an ankle, but it takes the longest time to heal.
First time doing high ankle.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it does take a while to heal. It's so swollen, so tender, and then out of nowhere, your ankle is more susceptible.
Yeah.
To like injuring again.
Yep. That's pretty much. It took me, no lie, it took me about 8 months to like really heal it properly, to get it back to a point where I felt confident enough to play. And in volleyball, I have to jump a lot, right? So to feel comfortable too, where I felt confident, like, let me jump. And, because it was my right one. So typically you jump off the left in volleyball. And, in most things jump off the left. But I land.
You must be a righty. Okay.
Yep. And I land on my right. That's usually, that's how I've always done it for, 20 some odd years.
Mm-hmm.
So to learn how to, kind of shift the weight a little bit to go and not land as hard on my right foot and stuff, like in my mind while I'm playing, like if I have to think about all that, I know it's going to happen, because when it's like natural and flows, you don't think about it, it just happens. So yeah, having an injury that takes you out like that it's rough.
Have you ever thought about coaching volleyball?
I did. I got asked back in the day when I lived in Jersey if I wanted to coach the not the junior varsity, but like the freshman, and obviously, work my way up. But I'm glad I didn't at the time because I didn't have the same mentality that I do now. I don't know if I would have been as understanding um, as to
Yes.
skill wise and things like that. And I think you need that type of compassion, as well as, like you do need to be like tough and this and that with coaching, but you also need to be understanding and to people's abilities. And at that time, I just wasn't that.
Yeah.
And here where I'm at, um, I've kind of gone back and forth with it, but we're not fully sure if we're going to be staying here forever. So to me, I don't want to commit to doing that because I want to commit fully. Like I want to know that I'm going to be here for a while and whoever I'm going to coach, I can help coach them through a
Yeah.
number of years. I don't want to just be the dude that comes in and he's like, oh, I'm going to go dip and go somewhere else. So it's still possibly on the cards for me, maybe in like another year or two. But we'll see.
I actually did coach 12 and 13-year-old league, and it was my niece and they needed a coach, so my
For
sister
hockey.
asked me and I said I'll give it a try. I always wanted to coach. I like being a good example for people. That's why I have the name Golden Link. No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say, so you could
I'm
just
joking.
shine.
No, it's
Was
because of
this
the part.
for hockey?
No, volleyball.
Volleyball. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
but
awesome.
I understood the agenda.
Mhm.
None of them really have skills,
Right.
and it was the
Right.
first,
It's a
first
mindset at
year.
that point.
Yeah, and it's the first uh, season, let's say, of volleyball. And I only did for one season, which was about like 8 games in playoffs. And I knew the agenda was let them have fun, let them fall in love with volleyball. And I think I nailed it,
Awesome.
where I said, the thing about that age is the ball's being served and they're in like a six die formation,
Hmm.
and the ball goes right between them and they all looking at it fall, So I was like, want the ball, want it. You have to just say, I see it, I have the opportunity, say, I got it, want to do it. And, I would constantly have him in circles to like be like, all right, keep the ball up as much as you can. When sometimes look at who you want to pass it to. See that you're going to get the ball and pass it to Christina, try to hit it to Christina, and just real simple like that. We didn't win the championship, but we held it down. And I think the girls really had a great time because you know what? I know at least two of them still play volleyball.
That's awesome.
And one of them is my niece, and she says she loves volleyball. And the other one was this girl that was very reserved, and her parents couldn't make it to all the games. But when they did come to the games, like you could see that she was thrilled. At 12, 13, you're starting to become, a little, have that little like rebellious, maybe nowadays kids grow up sooner. And she always seemed like a rebellious type, but when she played volleyball, you saw so much like joy, and one game she killed it. And I was like, you know how good you play today? And she had like a full mouth of braces, and she was like, yeah. And like to be a rebellious type of kid, to show that much joy that she just knows that she loved what she just did, it was like awesome.
That is
And
really
I
cool.
didn't get to coach another season. It was just all free volunteer. I couldn't commit to it anymore.
Right. Right. No, that's cool, man. And you did that. Your niece was on the team,
Yeah.
so that's really cool. It's like a core memory for her. Like my
Yeah.
uncle did this. That's
Hmm.
really cool.
And she was really good too. She was really good. Like top 3 players on the team, she was definitely one of them, because at least her serve was very consistent. So it could be 5 points of the ball being up, and then the other team watches the ball hit between them. And I was like, that's 5 points. You're allowed 5, and then they switch the ball, by the way.
Yep.
So
Yep.
5 is the
When
limit.
they're
Or else,
younger, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because if not, it could be a blowout.
21-0. GG's. Shake my hand.
Game.
You got
Thanks for not
served.
picking up the
Okay.
ball once.
Yeah. Thanks for passing it
Um,
under the net the whole game, dude. Thanks.
oh man, that's cool though. That's cool.
But you didn't tell me. All right, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, 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 no. What were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say like the whole Twitch.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Get back
honestly,
on track, right?
yeah. Sorry about that.
No, no. I love the side talk, dude.
Yeah, me too.
Um, so Twitch, you asked what got me into it, right?
Yeah.
So, my cousin, Neo Venom, he
Very good streamer.
started. Yep.
He
He's a
is a good
streamer on
streamer.
Twitch, and he was the first one that at least introduced it to me. And so once I started watching his streams, that was kind of my introduction to Twitch. And then I found out that Gargan 100 was already streaming even before Neo. But he would do like really late night streams. And didn't know about it. And so that's when he was speed running Earthworm Jim. So when I got on, it wasn't too long after that. And so both of them were streaming. Obviously at that time, it was just me, my wife, girlfriend at the time. We were just living together, no kids, barely any responsibilities besides work. And so we were here a couple years at that point. Didn't really have any like real friends. So, you know, being on Twitch, talking in chat and stuff, it was pretty cool. They had like a mini community and stuff. So I was like, yeah, why not give it a try?
I seen you part of different communities. I seen you like people know you a bit. It's nice. So it shows you have some history in Twitch.
Yep. But I've been around for quite a bit.
Yeah.
So,
impressionable.
So yeah, trying to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I got started. I figured let me give it a shot. I tried. My first stream was in 2018. And I did it for a bit, and just the equipment I had at the time, the computer and stuff, and the technology too. It wasn't that like streaming encoders and all this and that. Like it required a lot more than what it does now. So the tech I had wasn't that great. And then once I got started, it was really in 2019. And I was at that point, I was full time. I had a schedule, everything. I was going like 3 days a week, sometimes
6 years
4.
ago. Almost 6 years ago. Isn't that crazy? 2019 doesn't seem like it, but
yeah, it's a while. And then my son was born, and then I stopped.
Wow.
A lot of my attention went to that.
That's great. Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, and I wouldn't change it. I'm glad that I was able to be present, and you know, and still being present and enjoying it. But you know, now I have the luxury of a little bit more time to be able to stream. So this was the full year now that I've decided to, you know, 5 years later, that started to stream a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that was really my introduction to Twitch. How about you, man?
Well, but to bounce from you, I've seen how you stream nowadays. You know, like you do a lot more just straight up chat, and it is really more relaxing and more engaging to the audience, which is like, it's fun to be a part of. And you have so many good redemptions. It's so much fun to just like
sit there and redeem.
Staying active, keeping the viewers active, which is really fun. I recommend anyone that's listening to check out Poppy Panda's Twitch streams. I know neither of us really have a schedule, but we have our consistent moments.
Yeah.
Friday night seems to be yours, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the time that I try to take, because most of the time that's when my wife goes out to practice dancing and whatever else. So I'm like, you know what? Put my son down. I'm gonna go hang out with the boys and go on stream.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like for me, I don't really have a schedule, and I think that's so important to have a schedule on Twitch if you care enough for it to grow. You know, I think I wanted it to grow, so I was just streaming as often as possible in the beginning, and later on, I just realized I just liked hanging out with you guys and playing host to random people. It got old for me a little bit, where like people were just like, you have to end up engaging and like trying to convince them that you're cool, if you know what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
And
It's
that
like
can
being in
get,
high school all over again.
yeah, and it can get a little old, where I was just like, and most of the time when you're engaging with these new viewers, they're trying to sell you something. At the end, they're like, oh, I have like this site where I post all my uh,
Artwork or my
yes,
emotes and stuff, you
yeah,
know.
and then you're like, oh, cool, I'll check it out, and then you realize like they're never coming back again.
hmm They were
And
only
so
in there trying to get you.
yes, and I almost just want to instantly block them. Like, oh, that's interesting. Let me just go check out this link, and I just banned. Like, I'm
Yep.
cool. I
Yep.
I don't got time for that. Okay.
I got Chat GPT for that, man.
Yeah, like, are you chat? Yo, are you Chad GPT? I don't like Chad, not chat. Anyway, bad joke.
Nah, that was
Um,
good.
so yeah, so I do like just I about the schedule. I don't really have a schedule, but Neo does, and he has the best time slot available,
Yeah,
8 to 10.
8 to 10, 8 to 10.
And I kind of sub for him. You know, I kind of play off that. If he streams, I'm happy just being a part of the stream,
Right.
hanging out. You know, because that's what I really learned to enjoy. Just hanging out with you, Neo, Mountain, Gargan, just like the regular crew, Barty. I don't know.
You're right.
Let me tell you something about Bartan. All right, I know this is a completely personal conversation right now, but we have our crew that we hang out with, and this guy Bartan, he knows how to get under Neo's skin, and I'm like, I'm wondering about this guy. Like, does he know Neo personally?
He's so bartend. Little history.
Okay.
He's been around. You know, we've known him since what 2016, 2017. He started out in Gargan's chat.
Okay.
Moved over to Neo's. And he just knows. He just knows. This
Dude,
is from back in the day to now. He just knows how to get under his skin. It's so good. It is so
really
good.
funny. Like sometimes when you find like a witty person like that, it's almost tough to keep up with like that wit, you know. And I also don't want to like have Neo really rage on us. I think Neo in the moment rages, but he also knows how that
He knows how
not,
to dial it back just enough. Just enough.
Yeah, exactly. So but it's pretty funny. Like I was like, how does he have the guts to just do that to somebody? You know, press those buttons on someone.
With no shame, within like the first 30 seconds of him talking. That's a skill I wish I had.
You're pretty good at it, man.
Oh man!
And
so keep going.
Twitch now. Twitch is funny because when I first heard of it, and I was like, people watching people play video games, that's kind of lame, you know. That's like my original first thought, and I think that's an original first thought for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
it's the way Twitch is presented. You know, it is cool that it is a gaming site, but you know, it'd be nice if they find just a nice medium to just be like, it's not just gaming. But you know, with all some of the other stuff that has come out from the other streaming sites and stuff, that's what gives the portrayal of what else might be going on Twitch, and they're like, no.
Yeah, and you're talking about like the soft nudity aspect of things.
Let's just say nudity, that you have like girls and IRL streamers that are
very alluring. Mm-hmm. It is. You know, you're gonna take a peek here and there. I'm sure. I'm just gonna be open about that.
Right.
You know?
But you have it's that, and you also have the other ones that are the IRL, like the IRL people that are just like harassing people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are getting a lot of attention too. And it's like, Okay, not all of us do that.
Yeah, and it's also very like it's not so fun to be engaged in that because there's actually no engagement in those kind of streams.
Mm-hmm.
It's just visual
It's
fun, I guess.
it's
I
just
can't think of the word.
people like farming
Yeah.
for views and stuff over
Yeah,
stupid
they
stuff.
are farming for views. It's a little
You know,
you
like
can
one
really
of the best
consider
things
that
is like
lame.
React, right? Like React
Yeah.
type of content. And so they're
Hmm.
looking for you to react to it. They don't
Yeah.
care what they do to get that reaction. And it's
And
like, bro, it's not just at the expense of like the other people on the site. It's the expense of the person that you're doing these to. Like, come
yeah,
on, be a decent human.
I know. I know. And most of these hosts end up being a little bit mentally broken. You know, it takes a toll of you from you mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
can almost see it in their eyes. They're just like not engaged in the chat ever, you know, and people do say nasty things in chat too. They'll say like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is so whack, pointless content." Even that, I'm like, dude, we know.
Right.
She knows. Just
Right.
relax
That's
a little bit. Don't kill her
take it
spirits.
take it
She's
easy.
obviously doing it
Take
for
it
money. I don't know. Just whatever.
right.
I'm
Right.
defending it while bashing it.
Right. So to tail back a little bit. I know that, you know, you were just talking about you started streaming because of us. You know, like the
Yeah.
community aspect and everything. So I guess kind of to bring it all full circle now, and kind of I don't want to say close out the episode, but you know, kind of round things out
Yeah.
is what what keeps you streaming now? What makes you want to, you know, continue? And what, you know, we both had the idea, but I know you really brought it up, which is cool. And I'm so glad someone brought it up because I've been wanting to do one. But along with the streaming, what has made you want to do podcasting, start a podcast,
Oh yeah.
and actually, you know, go through the journey of it, and like what I don't want to say what you want to get out of it, but like what is your goal with podcasting?
Cool. All right. Podcasting. I love talk radio. I
Okay.
love sports talk radio, especially. And a particular show that I love to listen to is the Michael K show. And
Okay.
you start to feel a part of their squad when you're listening to them. And I like
Almost like
that.
being in a
And
stream in a community.
yeah, and I like being part of a community, and I have a lot of opinions on things, and I like to talk. I guess I like some attention, just being like very open and like however that may sound. But I want to display my opinions, and I want to bounce ideas off of other people. Building a community, I think, is the main thing because there's so many people that want to be heard, and I want them to feel welcomed here, to tell you the truth.
Right.
And I don't really want one specific category to talk about. You
Right.
know, like I know I have strong opinions about the New York Rangers, but I don't want to make a New York Rangers podcast. I think it would just, I think it would end up being like a job. And
Right.
having like a variety stream with a good homie as you, I think we can just have fun with it and build a community, you know, where it's very free and flowy. And that's kind of what I want. You know, I think that's it. I just, the building of a community is probably number one on why I want to have a podcast. I guess let's just start with number one.
Gotcha.
How about you, man? I thought of you. I don't know what, you know, I thought of you for a podcast. I know, and I was so happy how engaged you were, and you moved this forward. Let's just say that you moved this forward. How about you,
Hey, it
man?
takes
What
two.
about
Takes
podcasts?
two. So I've been thinking about a podcast for years. And I kind of thought about it like I don't want to say a serious push, but this was probably 3 years ago, where I was like really kind of trying to tap into the idea of how to do it, who to do it with, and things like that. And I couldn't get it. I didn't, it didn't feel natural for some of the people that I was like thinking in my head. And that is the part for me that's like, I don't want it to be forced. Like I would like to have a podcast that is, that we can stay like, we don't have to have 80 topics, but have a couple kind of, I don't want to say stay on track. Like I like the side conversations like what we've had in this one.
Yeah, me too.
And so, I just didn't find the people where I was like, okay, some of these are going to feel forced. Some of these conversations I already can tell are going to feel like I'm the one farming to get something out of them, or, trying to reel it out, or vice versa, or it's just not going to feel like a good flow. Like if I don't feel it, then someone else is not going to be able to feel it through just listening, let alone probably seeing it. So, that was one part to me, is that I had to make sure that I knew it was going to feel natural and that we would be able to kind of bounce off each other. Right.
Yeah.
So once you asked,
Agreed.
I sat there and I was like, bro, let's do it now. Ahora, yesterday, like
Yes.
I knew it was going to work like right away. I knew it
Yeah.
would.
In particular, we have like our own chat, which
Mhm.
is you, me, Gargan, Neo. And, someone in the crew one day said, I think I love how our streaming community is growing.
Mhm.
It feels like a team.
Yep.
And then I was like, right there, I think it was like that conversation, that thought that you put into my head where I was like, we should just make it a team. Let's make a podcast because I want to do it, and maybe you guys want to do it. And
And
it's
that's
something that
exactly
can,
how you pitched it. That was like almost word for word how you
yeah.
pitched
And
it.
I think you actually said something that kind of triggered that, like, this is the crew I should send this to, because I've asked another crew, and we watch a lot of Knicks games together, but then it ends up being a Knicks podcast. But I pitched the idea to them, and I realized that no, this is still more me than them. They're not into it as much as I am, so they're not the crew. Okay, and I might have pitched that idea to them 2 weeks prior, asking you guys.
Right.
Yeah,
no. And that was like when you said it, and the way that you said it too, I was just like, yup, this is it. And so, then the other side of it of, not just it being presented and me wanting it, like what I kind of want out of it is just, it's kind of the same thing, a community, kind of what, we've both been building on our own on Twitch, but just a nice community where we can chat, talk about things. Hopefully, get, I don't want to say get followers, but get people that like to engage in this type of podcast and listen to it.
Get the right followers, maybe.
Right, right. And people that, are just down to listen to two homies that they would probably chill with outside of listening to it, and just hang out. That's really it, and just share my thoughts on stuff. And another outlet for creativity for me, that I've always liked. So I listen to a lot of podcasts on my own time. I watch a lot of YouTubers, and the way that I watch them is listening. I don't really watch it
While you're driving.
While I'm driving, while I'm doing dishes, while I'm doing anything, around the house, even while I'm just laying in bed. Sometimes I just throw something on to listen to it, and whether I fall asleep or I'm like, man, this is really good, and then it keeps me up, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta turn this off.
Yeah.
So
I do the same. And the great thing about engaged conversations like a podcast or a talk show is that it keeps you engaged presently. Sometimes when music is playing, you start to drift into these like thoughts, and thoughts of maybe stress of finances, thoughts of stress of like personal problems, issues, you know what I mean? But like with like listening to talk radio, and driving a car, you're engaged. You're not stressed during a stressful situation.
Right.
Driving is stressful, actually. And
Especially in some areas of the US. Yes.
100%. Yeah, particular areas are worse than others. And I find myself, like, let's say I do a lot of interior painting for houses. That house is painted with like no hiccups because I'm just perfectly focused. Having someone like preoccupy my mind where I could just drone on and just paint and enjoy it. You
Right.
know, it doesn't. It's work and it's like it's pleasure. It's work and pleasure at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, that's cool. I think that's a solid note right there. If there was one to kind of end a first episode. I think
Yeah,
we went deep into a couple different things.
we
Talking
exceeded our
about
time.
a
Why
time.
not?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the first one, you know. So
I want to just add one or two more things to something we were talking about prior.
yeah,
Because Gargan asked me to make a Twitch account to help him become an affiliate. So I might have been his like 40th follower. And,
look
you
at
know, I
that.
was like, all right, yeah, I'll join, you know, I'll watch. Not really watching, chilling, you know, but I was like, all right, this is my homie. So it's like, I'll be a part of this. I broke away from that a little bit and I followed Neo in that time because that's his cousin. I know him in real life. And maybe you know him. And
Ooh,
that is
ooh.
Poppy's cousin, by the way. Let's get that out there.
Both of them.
Yeah, they're like they have a whole cousin team right there.
Yeah, this is
I
the honorary cousin too, right here.
Yeah, even Mobile
Because
Killer 21, I like put it together. I
yeah,
was like, oh, that's probably his cousin.
that
And then I
he's
asked
my
you,
cousin through
yes.
my
And then I
side, but
so
both of my so not to
so
like cut you off there.
no, it's
The
cool. I
funniest
get it.
thing here on how both of my mom's side and my dad's side are both connected before my mom and my dad. They were
Oh, wow.
connected because both of the oldest siblings on each side of the Hidalgo and Furman, they got together.
Wow.
And so that's how all of that branched. And so almost
It's a
every
circle.
single thing that I do family wise, everyone knows the other side of like both of my
Oh,
families.
wow. Cool.
But they ended up not working out, and then my parents ended up getting together. My parents have
Oh,
been the ones that have stayed together throughout, you know, everything. So
wow.
it's so interesting, you know, like how all of that happened. But yeah, at every family gathering ever since I was like, you know, one, both sides of my family are always there. So that's why every single gathering is so huge for no reason.
Love it though, man. Arundel's the best, man. Those
Yeah, I miss
family,
it.
like, yeah, those family Christmases are huge. A big
Hmm.
thing for Greek families is Greek Easter. We'll have like 40 people and it's like cousins, friends, family.
That's awesome,
Um,
man.
and it's just like you can go in any room you want and it's just like a great
There's someone
time.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
the closing hours in those holiday parties is the best, where you're just like maybe playing cards or a board game too,
Hmm.
or, you know, maybe video games.
Yeah.
I
Back in the
love
day, it
it.
used to be Smash Bros, and we would all
So
be in one room playing.
yeah, that was a part of my video game career. Like when I was playing Super Nintendo and N64, I had Super Smash, but that was how I got very close with. That was one of the games I got very close with
Gargan.
Gargan. He
Hmm.
played a lot of Super Smash. He got really good, and then he amplified everyone else's skill level because he
Hmm.
learned how to cheap kill. No one cheap killed
I think
until
he
Don.
invented it. I think he freaking
No,
invented it with
I
Kirby.
just outed his name.
Oh,
I said the A word. Anyway, all right. But anyway, I didn't finish the other thought. I'm going back and forth now.
no. Please go ahead.
So I did just randomly join Neo stream one night on the phone, and I was like, you know what? Let me show some support. You know, so I'm watching Neo stream, and I remember when I first started watching, he was like, "Yo, disgusting." I was disgusting four. He's like, "Yo, disgusting four." Like, hey, well, what's up, man? Oh, just like supporting, you know. And then another day, I go again. Gargan's there, so I feel a little bit more like comfortable. Then like maybe you showed up, and then like I start to like, all right, I want to stream. because maybe I can make some money. But then, yeah, like I said, it just ended up I ended up realizing that I just wanted to hang out with the guys. It's a little bit of time away from just, even if it's just in the background while we do our own thing, like work on a computer or play video games. It's nice to just be with the crew and just having a
Yeah,
laugh or two.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I rhymed.
definitely. I think that that was the thing that I do, like, for me, and also, like, for you too, because you have, that I think that's one of the other things that makes us well for this is that um we're both married, we both have a kid,
Yeah.
a small kid at that too, that's growing.
Hmm.
So sometimes, life just takes over and you don't have time to go hang out with everyone.
Yeah.
So it's so nice and it's really convenient. And that's one of the coolest parts to me about Twitch. And, probably should include it in my answer, of why I like to do it, why I am on there is, it is like truly hanging out with your friends. Like, especially when
Yeah.
you know them in real life. Um, it is like hanging out in person. It's just through a screen.
Hmm.
And so it does fill in that void of, like wanting to be chilling with people,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
Absolutely. That is a thing that you lose as you grow up, and it's almost like, moving with technology, you can still have those times with your friends,
Right.
virtually, but still it's very engaging.
Yep.
And there was one other thing you said about that I always wanted to share, and maybe you can reiterate it another day, another stream, but streaming, you start to plan things for streams. Like I see Serene Art playing Kingdom Hearts. She's never going to probably play it without streaming.
Right.
And that can kind of take away some of the joy of that video game, because
Hmm.
you almost make them connect that,
Right.
all right, the streaming won't be done. Oh, I wanted to play this, but I guess I'll play it later because I'm going to stream it. And the same thing goes with the painting.
Right.
I used to paint more without the streaming, but now that I'm incorporating streaming, I find myself painting less, which is a little bit of a thing I want to share, because you pointed this out, and it's something I want to share with a lot of people, because don't lose that. If that's part of your free time, make sure it's still part of your free time. Don't let it be taken over by, oh, I can do it while streaming. I can do this while streaming, because then you won't do that joyous thing that you do as often as you should do, because you're gonna wait till you stream it. You know?
Yeah. No, and I've seen that whole with a lot of people, and I almost fell into it once of, if I start this on stream, I have to finish it on stream, right?
Yes. 100%.
And it's so easy to fall into that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I did that with a couple games,
Yeah.
like Super Metroid. I had never played it, and this is back in like 2018 when I had started, and I wanted to keep playing it, but didn't play it. And then, that's when I had realized too, my gear just wasn't up to being able to stream. So I had to wait months before I played it again.
Wow.
And then, and this is in my mind, I'm like, I can't play this. I can't play this. It has to be on stream. And then, it was literally September. By the time I picked it back up and played it, it was like March, around that time, that I was able to get the gear that I needed. And, you kind of fall into that trap of just, I got to do this, for the viewers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying that it doesn't matter for the community, like, cool, but it's so easy to fall into that mentality, which I think a lot of people do fall into it. And I've
Yeah,
seen it where it's like,
absolutely.
I can only do this on stream. And it's just, it's not healthy to do it that way, which,
Yeah.
hopefully over time it gets better and more people kind of realize it. But I see it, and I've kind of already told Serene, like, hey, I know you're doing Kingdom Hearts on stream and this and that, but don't ever feel that just because you started this on stream, it has to be finished on stream. Don't feel like
Great
if
advice.
I hate this game, don't feel like you have to play it. Like don't, because your emotions and like how you are and everything, it's going to convey into the stream. And then you're gonna like subconsciously be like, you know what, I don't want to effing stream today because I gotta play this game that I really don't like. You
Yeah.
don't want to do that, because then you're not gonna want to stream. You're not even gonna care to, and you're like kind of just washing out why you even wanted to stream to begin with. And that's why I ended up now, without realizing it, that's why I have ended up doing more just chatting, because I'm like, I don't want to play these games, and it
Smart.
kind of derails me from talking to people, and I want to be cognizant of people's time that they're, even if it's 10 minutes that they're taking out to talk and come hang out. Let me see if I can make those 10 minutes count a little bit more.
Yeah.
But then, then there's those time too that it's like, I just want to play a game, but let me play something where I can stop at the nose and just chat if someone comes in and they want to just chat.
Yeah, so that's why you retired speedrunning, I guess.
It's so hard, let me tell you, and I love speedrunning.
Yeah, it is nice.
I really do, but it's just so hard unless I can figure out a different way of being engaging while like putting 1000% focus into a speed run, because you have to if you want to be, if you're speed running, it's because you have a competitiveness that you want to reach a goal, or you want to be on a world record, whatever it is, right? So if you're doing that, you there's no way that you can do that and then have a chat right here, because there's going to be a lot of moments where, all right, I got to focus, and I've done it. I know it. I've done it so many times. All right, I got to focus. And that could have been, the minute that you had someone that could have been, a new person in the community, but you kind of threw them off for, even if it's just 2 minutes, it's on the internet. All it takes for them, like, oh, this person is up X, I'm going to another person,
Yeah.
So
I know. I feel like that happens to myself during stream, because especially with Smash Bros, I get my eyes like change, where I'm just like, like psychotic a little bit, and then like you rage a little bit, and I think that also turns off people, and you can rage off of speed running too. The frustration can build up. You can see it in Gargan's stream too, where like when it's not just happening and it's just constant. And the rage is making it happen even more, and where he'll just be like, all right, this is not happening. Let's stop. Yep. And less engagement in chat. I hear you, man. It's tough to find that balance. I see that you're playing Sonic through, like just letting it be that way that you're just saying, like you could pause it, engage a little bit, go back and forth to the game. It makes sense.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where I am. Like I learned that early on with not just the speed running, but with just not letting the stream control my experience for a game. Because at the end of the day, I love the gaming more, like the experience that I get from the game. So it's a little sacred, and getting into that mentality takes away that sacredness of from the game. So yeah, that's where I go with that.
Cool.
But yeah, I think I really like the speedrunning topic. I think that we should continue it into the second episode, whenever we pick that up.
Sounds good.
And start out with that one, because I think there's a lot more to dive into with speedrunning.
Yeah, maybe we can have a little special guest. We have to pay our guests to be on our show, but it is what it is. We pay them in bits.
Send them Fruity Pebbles or something.
That's a little much.
a little, just a tad bit, bit.
But that sounds good. I like to discuss that further. In the future runs, because I have a lot more to say about it too.
Yeah, man, and I think we did really solid for a first episode. Hopefully, everyone listening thinks the same.
I was happy with how this flowed, And I look forward to our next one, which is going to happen like an hour from now. We're just going to act like it was like
right. It's going to be right after this one.
wearing the same clothes. We ran 7 episodes.
I'm just going to take off my glasses for the next one.
Yeah,
all right, guys, it's a new day.
I just have like some food on my beard and the next stream.
Right. And just woke up, guys.
Hey, guys. All right, man. Let's see if maybe I'll chat with you later. Maybe one of us will stream later and just hang out a little bit more.
Yeah. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. So to everyone watching, that's a wrap on our first episode of 8-Bit Banter. Thanks for tuning in and getting to know us a little bit better, our love for gaming, our Twitch journeys, and even dived into some sports talk. So if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you follow us and you're listening, and don't forget to share it with your other friends, sports fans, people that might just want to chill out and listen to something like this. So, and make sure that you go ahead and catch us on Twitch. I'm Poppy Panda the Wise. The co-host here is Golden Link with a 1 in it. The links will be down in our descriptions, and just follow along for any upcoming episodes.
This is 8-Bit Banter. That's the name of the show. 8-Bit Banter. Thought of by our man right here with the Squirtle hat. Yeah. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you so much, man. Peace, man.